Welcome to Life of Economics. In this episode, we analyze South Korea's coffee industry through the lenses of supply and demand. Despite strong coffee culture and high consumption, cafes continue to open and fail at alarming rates. This raises a key economic question: how can a market with high demand still collapse? The answer lies in the incentives oversupply and misinterpreted demand signals. At first glance, demand appears strong. Coffee is embedded in daily life in South Korea. Consumers buy coffee frequently, and cafes function as social and lifestyle spaces. However, economics distinguish between consumer demand for a product and market demand for suppliers. While demand for coffee is high, demand for each individual cafe is limited. One consumer can only buy an infinite number of coffees per day. As cafes multiply within the same area, demand is divided among more suppliers rather than expanding overall. This highlights a crucial concept. Apparent demand does not equal effective demand. High consumption does not justify unlimited market entry. According to the law of supply, as expected, profits increase. More producers enter the market. In Korea, cafes appear attractive due to low barriers to entry, franchise models, cultural prestige, and perceived lifestyle benefits. These factors shift the supply curve to the right as the thousands of new cafes enter the market. Importantly, this was not driven by rising prices of coffee, but by non-price determinants of supply, including low startup costs, easy access to franchising, and expectation of future profits. As a result, supply increased much faster than demand. When supply expands beyond what consumers can absorb, the market enters disequilibrium. In the cafe market, too many suppliers compete for the same customers. Prices cannot rise due to intense competition, and revenues per cafe falls. This creates oversupply where the quantity supplied exceeds the quantity demand at prevailing prices. Low prices do not resolve the problem because the demand for coffee is relatively price inelastic. People do not drink significantly more coffee just because it becomes cheaper. Instead, cafes compete through discounts, promotions, and longer hours, further reducing profitability. As revenues fall, cafes face rising average costs, including rent, labor, raw materials, and franchise fees. When price falls below average cost, economic theory predicts firm exit. This explains the high closure rates of cafes. However, exit is slow because the owners face sunk costs. Many operate at a loss, hoping conditions improve. Culture stigma around failure delays closure. This delays market correction and prolong oversupply. In the short run, cafe supply is relatively fixed. Once a cafe opens, it cannot easily exit without losses. In the long run, supply adjusts through closures, consolidation, and survival of efficient or differentiated cafes. Eventually, the market moved toward a new equilibrium, but only after significant economic waste and personal financial loss. The Korean cafe market demonstrates a core principle of economics. Markets fail when incentives distort supply decisions. High cultural demand for coffee encouraged excessive entry, but effective demand could not support it. The result was oversupply, falling profits, and widespread exit. This case shows that successful markets require not just demand, but accurate signals, realistic expectations, and controlled supply growth. Understanding supply and demand is not theoretical. It explains real outcomes that affect livelihoods.